Hello everybody, welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door. And welcome along to the Round 10 Championship Review Part 2 of this round. We've had to do it like this for all the midweeks. It's been mental. The last 3 weeks, 7 rounds basically. Saturday midweek, Saturday midweek, Saturday midweek takes us to 6. And the third week essentially ends with the Saturday. And then, by God, we get an international break. I feel sorry for Krissy. He took over at the start of this and has literally just gone into the most mental run. Sometimes we do get 2 3-game weeks in a row. It's very rare we get 3. Sometimes maybe in a January with a FA Cup and a replay or something going in there. But this has been crazy. But 2020 is crazy. We're going to look at the 6 games that were played last night, Wednesday. If you want any of the Tuesday night games, head back. They'll be on another video. Again, we will clip this up. We will put it in full. You get a little bit extra if you watch the full video as well. In between, we need to say thank you first to our fan sponsor, Russ Peak, a fan and now a friend despite Ben's terrible taste in football teams. And we also need to plug the Benjamin Bloom channel merchandise store. Buy a home away t-shirt, a mug, a phone case, a hoodie, a training top, or a t-shirt. Go get involved. Support the channel there. And let's get involved in this run of 6 games that occurred last night. It was Reading 0, Preston 3, Watford 3, Stoke 2, Forest 2, Coventry 1, Rotherham 0, Luton 1, Derby 0, QPR 1, Birmingham 1, Wycombe 2. And, as ever, we will start at the top, and still at the top, despite now a second straight defeat, are Reading. And it was Reading 0, Preston 3 at the Madejski. And not dethroned yet, Reading. Obviously, that ridiculous start and 22 points from 8 games means that they can even lose the next game and they'll still be on 2 points per game. But a couple of defeats now into the bargain, and it was 3-0 at home to Preston, who are literally the best away team in the Championship now by an absolute mile. I think that might even be, it's either 4 wins from 4 or 5 wins from 5. Sensational stuff on the road from Preston so far. Maybe they've drawn one. I don't know. Check me out in the comments. So Reading there. Well, they brought Tom McIntyre into defence there because of Liam Moore's foot injury. More from him later. Rinomota and Lauren. Aluke, Semedo and Elise are the 3 off the front. So no Maite, no Ejaria. Swift has been out for a while. Reading injury here and some key players too. Lucas Zhao up top. He's having a great season there. Preston bring Emil Rees in the number 9 position. Sinclair, Johnson and Potts. Ledson and Brown behind him. And a pretty staid back 4 there of Fisher, Huntington, Story, Rafferty and Declan Rudd behind them. And this is going to go quite heavily in favour of Preston. There is a chance for Aluko in the first half here. Pretty decent chance. That on the half volley. Bit of pressure on him, but Rudd makes the save. But into the second half, and I did mention Tom McIntyre. This channel's remit is never to dig out players. We know all players are doing their best to try and play at the best level they can play at, and sometimes they don't have great games. Here is McIntyre bringing down Emil Rees, who is a struggle for most Championship centre-backs based on his first few games. However, Dan Johnson, normally so good. Look at Raphael's left foot there. Normally so good from the spot, Dan Johnson. But he goes down the middle and Raphael, presumably his feet were on the line there, throws himself forward and makes the save with his foot. However, Scott Sinclair gets in behind McIntyre there. Is that Richards on the cover? Chests down and prods that one in for 1-0 just 15 minutes later. And, oh dear, long ball forward here. McIntyre, he looks for all the world favourite to win that, but Rees gets the run on him and ends up sliding in the 1v1 for 2-0 there for Preston. One more goal coming in the 92nd minute. Barkhuizen well forward. Look, McIntyre. Sorry, I don't want to pile in on him. Just out of the picture in terms of a tackle. And he squares it across to Brad Potts, who sticks it home. And it was 3-0. So away specialists Preston do it again. As I said, Reading are still top of the league. And I would even go as far to say, as if they lose their next game and they have 11 points from 22 games, 22 points from 11 games, every single fan in the league would take 2 points per game from the first 11 games, wouldn't they? So, big picture, great start from Reading. Small picture, last 2 games, not good. Lots of goals conceded, 3 against Coventry, 3 here against Preston. Big picture again, though, international break. And hopefully some players back injured after that. But they've got to get through, and it's Stoke at home at the weekend as well. So Reading not dethroned yet at the top of the league, but the crown is wobbling a bit, and they could do with Swift, Moore, Ejaria, Maite, all back and in that team, couldn't they? Preston in 12th in the top half of the table. And, yeah, just the best team in the league. Is it 4 wins and a draw? They're either 5 for 5 at home or away. I think it might even be 5 defeats at home. I need to check the actual home and away tables there. But very, very erratic in their form, Preston, and they'll want to sort that out after the international break. One more to go, though, remember. On Saturday, if you look at the numbers, 5 big chances forced by Preston there. The game is obviously won in the penalty box, 5 shots apiece on target. 3 big chances forced by Reading, and they didn't score any of them. So at least they're still making chances. But remember those first 7 games, Reading were finishing their chances with utterly lethal, ruthless efficiency. The reverse happens in this game, and Preston missed a penalty as well, so you can't even call Preston lethal. They could add 4, couldn't they? So, get your thoughts in on Reading wobbling, but still top, and Preston so brilliant away and so hopeless at home. Thoughts in the comments. Reading 0, Preston 3. And in predictable Benjamin Bloom prediction fashion here, I said that Watford and Stoke would be a low-scoring, close-run game, probably a draw or a 1-0 win. So here we go for Watford 3, Stoke 2. Couldn't have called this one more wrong if I had tried. And it flipped and it flopped. If you look, Stoke lead, then Watford, get back to 2-1, and then Stoke get back to 2-2, and then a late winner there, 93rd minute from Ismaila Sarr. We'll have a look. Was it the star power? Did Watford deserve it? We'll look at the goals. We'll look at the numbers. Cathcart, Cavallese and Wilmot across the back. No Ekong in this one. Kapue, Chalobah cleverly. Sema, Kiko, João Pedro and Ismaila Sarr up top with, on the bench, here we go this time, Gray, Deeney and Hughes, as well as Troost-Ekong and Manchester United loanee Garner on the bench with Ngakia. So much star power in that Watford first 16. How many will still be there past the January transfer window? We said that through the August one anyway, didn't we? And they're still there, September, October window. You know what I mean. Stoke with Angus Gunn in goal again. He's going to have an interesting day. Fletcher and Powell up top. Well, probably Powell playing off Fletcher, to be honest. Someone will let me know in the chat how that shape actually worked. Campbell and McLean wide. Thompson and John Obi in central midfield in front of Smith, Suter, Bart and Fox there. And a really nice opening goal, actually. If this corner is completely off the training ground, this is really excellent from Stoke. And John Obi Mikel still has the quality, doesn't he? He's got it from, who is that? Is that Powell? And he's going to play a lovely round the corner ball. Look at the space he's going to play it into. And this is going to really stitch Watford up, because that must be Powell if it's the right foot. It's not McLean, is it? Actually, I can see the assist. Yeah, it is Powell. He's going to stick that one across the box. Bang, bang, bang to give Stephen Fletcher a tap-in. Lovely goal by Stoke. Watford done from the set play. Ivic will be unhappy with that one. He'll be happy with this one though. And goal line technology had a bit of a wibble. They had to have a double, triple check of this one because Cleverly hits the shot. Gunn is right behind it, parries it up in the air. Bouncy, bouncy. We don't get a clear angle, and Gunn then gathers it. I think João Pedro then tries to pop it in, but I think the watch goes and the goal is given. Crosses the line for Cleverly. Again, I've not seen a conclusive angle, so we just have to trust the technology on that one. And then Angus Gunn, well, he's in a race with Ismail Assar, and not many people win many races with Ismail Assar. And he takes him down for the penalty. João Pedro sticks that one in the corner. So good productivity from these Watford strikers now. But good productivity by Nick Powell on the half volley. Low percentage chance, just knocked forward, flipped on, down to Powell. And some real quality in this game by Nick Powell. Look at that, half volley right in the corner. I'm sure Ben Foster's GoPro will get a good look at that one on his YouTube channel. But Ben Foster's YouTube channel will be very happy because, I mean, how good is Ismail Assar? Look, it's back to him. I think down the left, so it must be Sema. Really good bustling from him into the box. He lays it back. And Sarr, you can see, just really gets his shoulder straight, gets his body behind it. Loads of players back and just side foots it beautifully, accurately. Such composure late in the game. Look where he puts it. Right in the one gap there where you want to. And Sarr the Star, gives Watford the win again. We said when he came into the team his output would be heinous at this level, and it's and a brilliant assist, wasn't it, against Bournemouth, a goal against Wycombe, now a goal against Stoke as well. If he plays, he's just going to put numbers on, isn't he, Sarr? Too good for the league, we think, and he seems to be proving it repeatedly. Now, let's have a look at the numbers before we look at the impact on the table. And it does look like Watford edged this game, although tight in some respects. 66-34 is not tight on the possession, but 3 shots on target apiece is tight, isn't it? 4 corners to 1. 1 big chance apiece. You can see Stoke down the bottom with interceptions and clearances quite high, doing more of the defending. But, you know, it is a tight game, a 3-2 in injury time, and Stoke take their chances. They don't need much of the ball. We'd normally say that about Watford, but maybe a tight game decided by some star power and Sarr winning a penalty and then scoring the winner. Who knows? Let me know your thoughts if you watched all 90 of this one. Watford, from the first 10, now have 18 points, which is decent. Efficient in defence with only 7 conceded. Rare for them to concede 2 in a game, indeed. They're in the top 4. They'll be more than happy. And now, I mean, look, Hughes, Gray and Deeney all back. Now, look, are they still going to have Sarr, João Pedro, Deeney and Gray as the front 4 all season? I don't know. If they do, I mean, for goodness sake, good luck defending against that bunch. And Hughes as well into midfield. Look, surely someone will go in the window. I don't know if Udinese need any players. I jest, Watford fans. I jest. But Watford look very comfortable as they enter that group of 3 Year 1 parachute teams in 3rd, 4th and 5th, looking to just dominate that top 6 this season. Stoke, well, they're 11th. They've lost 3 games. Exactly the same record as Brentford, although they've done it in a slightly different playing style. I still think Stoke are going to churn, and come 20 games, they'll be a little bit closer than the top 6, and then come 30 games, they'll probably be in there. Just the churn. Others will drop away, and I think Michael O'Neill's got enough there to keep doing it. You let me know what you think in the comments, but it was Watford 3, Stoke 2. Up we go to the New York Stadium, and it was Rotherham 0, Luton Town 1. Luton go away and get the win through a James Collins goal. We'll do Luton first. He returns up top there. Luke Berry in, George Moncur in, Cornick returns. Morell and Tunnicliffe gets a start. Look, really ringing the changes. I'm looking at that Luton back four. Did Glenn Ray really play at centre-back and Matt Pearson at right-back? Someone Someone let me know. That looks a bit of a botched shape there. But, hey, it could be. Let me know if you watched all 90 of this one. Rotherham lining up. Blackman, Hardinger, Heckman, McDonald, Mattock. Barlassa sitting. Wiles and Lindsay with Miller wide. Josephson wide. And Smith up top. Rotherham competitive, but finding it quite hard going and losing a few tight games. Luton win some, lose some, play on the transition. We know what to expect, but much more competitive under Nathan Jones than they were this time last season under Graham Jones. That must be Lindsay, is it? I think. Excuse me if I got that wrong. With the long-range shot. This is a great save by Sluga there in the first half. And then Luton sort of taking over as the game goes on. Don't quite know how Harry Cornick has not found the big open goal there, but he sort of mishits that shot. And I think, is that Ihekwa or is it Harding on the cover from fullback? I don't know. Very blurry picture there. He's going to get back and clear it. Here comes the goal. Great delivery by Berry. And look, just getting the run on the edge of the box there. Nearest Luton player forward is James Collins. And he is going to stick that into the net. That must be 5 or 6 for the season for him. Cornick, again, decent chance. Hits the post with that one. So maybe Luton deserving of this win and forcing the better openings. Look, 3 big chances to 0 in this one. 5 shots apiece on target. But remember, chance quality is everything. And it looks like Luton just managed to pick Watford, God's sake, Rotherham off in this game for the win. So many championship games. I'm just getting all my teams mixed up in my head as I speak. So Luton go up into 9th place. 5 wins, 4 defeats. That feels very Preston, doesn't it? 4 wins, 5 defeats there. At least Luton don't have all of them at home and all of them away in one regard or another. But look, Luton in 9th place. This is so good from Nathan Jones and from Luton. Building things up. Can they get to that new stadium still in the Championship? If this continues, then absolutely they will. Great start from them. Can they stay in the top half as well? 16 points from 10, 1.6. You'd be close to the playoffs if you do that over 46 games. Let's just say, can they keep it up? And can they challenge the far bigger budgeted teams and with the bigger squads? We will find out as the season goes on. But they cause trouble for everybody on those quick transitions. And Collins looks a very viable Championship striker with some good service from behind him. Rotherham, well, look, they're in the bottom 6, but they're top of the bottom 6. The only issue for Rotherham is, do you expect Forest and Derby and Sheffield Wednesday to all stay down there in that bottom 6? Will all 3 of them stay below Rotherham? That's the only worry if you're a Rotherham fan. There's some big clubs down there who are likely to move up. And Sheffield Wednesday's form at the moment is, and we talk about their points deductions and things, is that of sort of not a bottom 6 team, like 16th place or something, isn't it? And Forest under Houghton, you'd expect them to gradually move up. I don't know what's going to happen at Derby. We'll talk about them in the review in a minute. So Rotherham, they're being competitive, but 19th place at the moment. Again, I will reiterate, are the teams below them going to remain below them? You'd hope, for Rotherham's sake, that they do, but I sense they might not. So Rotherham wins. They need wins. I know that's the most obvious thing in the world, but in tight games, the game management hasn't quite been there. They won late at Wycombe, didn't they? And they won against Sheffield Wednesday. Otherwise, it's gone against them. So good luck to the Millers, but they lose this one and they are down in 19th. Rotherham 0, Luton 1. Get your thoughts in the comments. And by God, I thought I was going to be talking about a Birmingham streak of 3-4 games, but I'm going to be talking about a Wycombe Wanderers streak. And after 7 defeats in a row, it was Birmingham 1, Wycombe 2, which is now a last-minute injury time defeat against Norwich, a draw against Year 1 parachuters Watford, a victory against rivals down the bottom there, Sheffield Wednesday, and a victory away at Birmingham City. Wycombe moving into really, really good form over these past few games. Birmingham 1, Wycombe to a late winner and a turnaround, with Roberts giving Blues the lead in the first half. San Jose, who we've credited with some of Birmingham's improvement, is starting there in the midfield with Gardner and Sunic ahead of him. Bella and Sanchez wide with Zhukkovic up top. Hogan and Lecco on the bench. Keefton Belt on the bench. McGree as well. So some sense that Karanka's building, but his building is temporarily halted by Wycombe in this game. Akinfenwa starts again up top. Cashkett and Horgan in there. Wheeler, Adeniran and Thompson make up the midfield with Grimm and Knight. Stewart, Jacobson and Allsop, the keeper and back four for the chair boys. Here is Mark Roberts, bit blurry there. You can't actually see the ball. He's going to power in the header from Bella's cross. You can see there on 40 minutes to give Blues a half-time lead. However, now, you'll have to ask Fred Onyedinma what he means here. I think he's probably having a shot at goal. However, his technique isn't that great on this shot. He hits it left-footed, and there's where it goes. And Scott Cashkett, though, right place, right time, is going to divert that in past Etheridge into the goal for a 75th minute equaliser for Wycombe. And it's going to get even better. 92nd minute, bit of a mess. You can see Etheridge has come away from the centre of his goal, which means it gets lobbed back across. That is Pedersen versus Onyedinma, who you would expect 9 times out of 10 Pedersen to win that header. I believe he does, but he heads it into his own net. So a mixture of a bad decision by Etheridge to come out, and then Pedersen not quite sorting out the aerial battle with Onyedinma, and it's a late 92nd minute own goal to give Wycombe the win. Congratulations to Wycombe, who everyone's emailing me and commenting and tweeting saying, Ben, how many points are Wycombe going to get? They're going to break the low points record after those 7 straight defeats at the start. Look at the last 3 games. 7 points in 3. So over a 3-game form table, Wycombe pretty much at the top of it, with Swansea and Borough with a quick glance there. Brilliant stuff from Ainsworth and Wycombe over the last 3 games. And Birmingham were in good form as well. They had 7 points from their previous 3. They were leading, and it was looking like comfortable top half there, and 16 points for that miserly Birmingham defence. But they do not do it. You can see there, 54 on the possession, 17 shots, but 4 on target to 3 we always look at as a reasonable barometer. Big chances, no big chances forced by Birmingham. 1 for Wycombe in this game, and Wycombe take the victory. A tight game. They edged it. I'm sure it wasn't one for the purists, but have a look at the table now. Birmingham in 14th, more comfortable than they were looking after that 7 points from 3 games, but Karanka is going to want to be able to push into that second quartile and the top half. For Wycombe, though, having looked dead and buried after 7 games with 0 points, Sheffield Wednesday moving on up. And by the way, that table doesn't include the extra 6 points which we're expecting to be added on for Wednesday after the arbitration has seemingly ruled in their favour. But now Wycombe move up to 3rd bottom, where they still would be even with the Wednesday points added on. Bit of a blow for Wycombe in terms of the challenge. But look, ultimately they still have to be better than 3 teams if they're going to stay up. And they are pushing it. A really nice little splurge of points. We haven't seen this from Rotherham and Coventry yet. Over 3 games, 7 points. We've seen dotted victories about. So if Wycombe can do this 2-3 times during the season and have these little splurges, they're not going to want the international break to come, are they? So excellent stuff from Wycombe. Commiserations to Birmingham. Get your thoughts in the comments going forward for either of these 2 teams. But looking good at the moment for an actual Wycombe challenge and not whipping chair boys. Get your thoughts in the comments. Birmingham 1, Wycombe Wanderers 2. And here comes last night's watch along, and you may want to look away now if you're a Derby fan. It wasn't a good game, and it wasn't a good outcome for Derby or Philip Koku. It was Derby 0, QPR 1. Macaulay Bonne stealing it in the 88th minute. Derby switching to a back 4 with Forsyth, Clark, Davis and Byrne. A little less balance there without Lee Buchanan. Shinnie and Knight in front. And then no front three as such. Waghorn leading the line with Lawrence, Rooney and Josviak. And it's safe to say it didn't really work at all. And Koku's going to switch that around. And Lawrence is going to go 10. And Rooney's going to go up top. And Waghorn's going to go right. And Josviak's going to go left. And it was slow. And it was ponderous. And it did not work. Anyway, QPR standard sort of back four now for them. It now looks like Kane and Hämäläinen are the fullbacks there instead of Kakai and Wallace that had been earlier ahead of Dieng and Dickey and Barbet stayed centre-half partnership there. Cameron and Carroll, and then Adoma and Samuel wide with Chair and Dykes. Samuel and Adoma swapped a fair few times, both essentially right wingers. So a bit of a lack of balance there. You want to either play two orthodox wingers or two inverted wingers rather than one orthodox and one inverted. You know, who's going outside, who's going inside, who the hell knows? And who the hell cares for QPR, who should have taken the lead really early on in this one. Adoma crossing in for Dykes, so you can see about 4 yards out. I don't think the still really does justice to that. It was a really decent chance, and Davis didn't manage to put the pressure that it does seem to imply he did on there. But Dykes heads it straight at Marshall, who palms it away. Here is the closest Derby got, and it's a low percentage chance outside the box. Rooney, great technique as ever, half volley, puts that one off the outside of the post. And you can see Dieng a fair distance away from that one. He's not saving that one if it is inside the post, I wouldn't have thought. Here comes the goal. I can't get a good still of a close-up of Dickey's challenge on Josviak. And I will totally understand in the comments if a Derby fan says it was a foul on Josviak, and I will totally understand if a QPR fan says it wasn't a foul. Personally, everyone wants me to make a judgment on these. I don't think it was a foul. I think Josviak was hoping to draw contact, and Dickey just seems to go through the ball. He comes in fiercely, but there's no contact. And maybe Josviak, I know it's the dark arts, but he needs to necessitate some telling contact so he can go down and win that foul. But hey, do we really want football to be predicated on these things? Dickey just looked a bit hungrier and was running onto the ball and slams through and seemed to take the ball without too much of a foul, I have to say. But you're willing to have your opinions in the comments, of course. There, so here comes Dickey, and from then on, brilliant cross in there for Macaulay Bonne, who pulls off Curtis Davis and heads it in to the back of the net for an 88th minute winner. Wow. So really bad news for Derby. Good news for QPR there. Much of a muchness the game. It wasn't great stuff. 2 big chances you can see for QPR. 0 for Derby. And I think that was the key in this game, that Derby was so sort of plodding and just a bit dull really on the ball. No sort of fizz in their progressive passing or pace in their play. Of course, yeah, when Rooney comes back and gets on the ball, he sprays it about. But he wasn't deployed in the deep midfield position, and Shinnie and Knight, they struggled to play around a QPR team that, frankly, other teams have found fairly easy to play around this season. So QPR reasonably comfortable, other than Rooney hitting the post from outside the box on the half volley, and they break away and get the win. A fair play to Warburton. He made changes, didn't he? He brought in Willock during the game. Who else did he bring in? Bonne, obviously, was a substitute, and somebody else came in up top. I can't quite remember who it was, and that's going to annoy me now. Dominic Bull, okay, not up top, but he made the changes, and it seemed to just pep up a system, whereas Koku felt like he was searching through the game, wasn't he? And in terms of the table, Rangers there, 2 straight wins, great for them, congratulations, and 7 points across the last 4 after a bit of a dismal run. That puts them in 16th. Derby, and if we take into account that Wednesday have actually now got 5 points, Derby really poor run. Now, Uncle Mel, will his finger be on the trigger? We are hearing about takeover bids, Arab money coming in, change of ownership. None of this looks good for Philip Koku. But the most important thing is looking at the pattern of play and the building of a team. No one's really seeing it at the moment, are they? I thought Derby would improve and be high up in the table, push on from last season, but they've sold. Out has gone Martin, Bogle and Lowe, and the quality of the team has dropped off. Obviously, you've got really good Knight, Buchanan, Bird, and Sibley. Good young players coming through there. You've got the influence of Rooney. Some quality up top. Maybe they do still need a striker. Colin Kazim-Richards came in and Waghorn, as much as I like, I don't know. Is he going to carry you 15, 20 goals a season? Derby fans seem to be missing Chris Martin, put it that way. So not looking good down there. Will Koku be fired? Who knows? One more game and then an international break. And believe me, I know I said it before the last international break, and we did see Struber go. Wasn't there another manager go in the last international break? I can't quite remember. I said that Lamucci, there you go. I said this is normally the graveyard for managers. International break number 2, 11 games gone. I wonder whether Koku is going to be not long for this world in terms of Derby managers. Let me know whether you think he should or shouldn't be, whether he should get a little bit longer. Remember, he has only had Jos Viak, Lawrence, Waghorn all fit together for a couple of games. Bielik is coming back. Is that going to change anything? I don't know. You give me your opinions in the comments. Either way, I'm sure your opinions of this game are not going to be great from a Derby point of view. And far more enthusiasm for QPR in this one. Derby 0, QPR 1. Last but not least today, it was Forest 2, Coventry 1. Forest, late winner from the spot from Lyle Taylor. Houghton had been a while without a win, and he gets a second one as Forest manager. Here, Forest, well, we said Houghton had been fairly settled, but now at left back with Iain being suspended, he's gone for Ribeiro, which does now look, you've now got Samba, Ribeiro and Figueiredo in that back five. It had been completely different from Lamucci's last season, obviously with the exception of Brice Samba in goal. But McKenna in and Krissy in. So we'll see what the back four ends up being there. Colback and Sal. Lolly, Knockhart, Freeman. I thought that might end up, in terms of star power, it's the three off the front you would pick. In terms of balance, maybe not so much, but Houghton knows what he's doing. Lyle Taylor up top. Grabban must be injured. He hasn't been around for a few games now. Let me know in the comments. Coventry, very settled. Morosi, Ostergaard, McFadzean and Rose across the back. Giles and McCallum's played a couple of games now, scored in the last game, didn't he? Hay Mashif, O'Hare comes back in. Biamu we haven't seen much of, and Godden plays up top. And here's the opening goal. I can promise you, I've watched this back. Scott McKenna isn't offside, although that looks quite suspicious, doesn't it? He sticks it in with the left foot for 1-0 on 30 minutes. And then they come strong, Coventry. First of all, Biamu in there, good chance, hits the post. And then this is a great goal, actually. You can see O'Hare on the move, a bit blurry there on the edge of the D. You can see what McCallum hopes to do. It's a great cross. Look where he puts it. Lovely stuff. And they just haven't tracked the John Walk, Tim Cahill, Frank Lampard-esque run of Callum O'Hare, who heads that in beautifully. He scored a couple of really good goals this year. I love the goal he scored against Bournemouth, where he controls it behind him. Looks a good player. O'Hare, great cross by McCallum. However, 97th minute, that is McFadzean who fouls Lyle Taylor for the penalty. So says the referee. You are obviously entitled to your opinion. Taylor with the, Dan Johnson type run-up that we saw miss a penalty in this phase of games. But Lyle Taylor makes no mistake. Sends the keeper, Morosi, the wrong way. Sticks it in for the win. Cool as a cucumber. 2-1 to Forest, and a win despite it could have gone the other way if Coventry take their chances. The numbers say 7 shots on target to 4 in favour of Coventry and 3 big chances to 2, even on the passes. This was a tight game that went Forest's way due to a 97th minute penalty. We know Chris Houghton's always going to be good at winning the tight games and tweaky in-game management from the side. Mark Robbins, though, on the other hand, will be saying, look, we should have won this one, and it's a tight game that's gone against them. But hey, tight games is tight games, and good teams win them, don't they? Sometimes not always the team that deserves to win them wins them. But Forest get the win and Coventry go under in this one. Forest under Houghton now. So over the 7 games, they have 2 wins and 3 draws. So they have 8 points. So over those games, Houghton will want more, but sort of, I don't know, low 1.1 points per game or something around there. That'll be enough to gradually get them away from the table. It will be gradual at 1.1. He'll want to start putting some wins in there and pushing forward, especially. And again, I'll repeat, Lyle Taylor up front with Knockhart, Freeman and Lolly. That's very good at this level, isn't it? So, and Houghton is good at this level. For Coventry, it's worrying, isn't it? Sporadic victories and then runs of, obviously, well, probably 6 without a win or 7 in the middle of that. And they're on the edge there. Will Derby come good? I don't know. Will Wycombe keep winning? I don't know. Will Wednesday come good? Now, Wednesday, actually, if you add the points on, are only 3 behind. It's worrying for Coventry, who we all thought were the standout best team in League One. That doesn't mean you're going to be the most competitive in the Championship. We know that. Really doesn't work that way going up from the Championship to the Premier League either, does it? So, yeah, tricky one, but worrying for Coventry. The one good thing from a Coventry point of view is they'll keep stable, they'll keep the system. Will that be enough? You are now, in terms of the promoted teams, Wycombe, Rotherham and Coventry, you're looking for someone to have a bad season. Could it be Derby? I wouldn't have thought, but you're looking for someone to drop below you and, really choke. So that is the state of play with Forest and Coventry. And that is the state of play with our review. You can see, we'll leave the table up there with Coventry and Forest highlighted. But Reading still top. Can they get to 11 games and 25 points? What a total that would be if they can get the win against Stoke at the weekend. Swansea looking good. And then there's your 3 Year 1 parachute teams. Norwich, Watford and Bournemouth coming in there. Warnock's Borough on a lovely run. 9 without defeat. Bristol City, are they going to be streaky? Won the first 4. They've won another. Let's see if they can win again. Millwall will grind, as will Stoke in 11th. Luton and Brentford maybe will do things a bit differently, but you would suspect a push, well, more so from Stoke, Brentford and Millwall, and maybe Luton to hang around there. We'll see. Preston, brilliant away, terrible at home. Cardiff, inconsistent. Birmingham, the same. Huddersfield, the same. QPR, the same. Blackburn, the same. Barnsley, the same. But they've all kind of proven that they can win games. And then you have your bottom 6. Rotherham, Forest, Coventry, Wycombe, Derby, Sheffield Wednesday. Some big clubs in there. Forest, Derby and Wednesday. Can they pull out ahead of those 3 promoted teams? Slightly worrying precedent being set. I hope we're not going to get the 3 relegated teams from the Premier League, Norwich, Watford and Bournemouth, all in the top 4 or 5. And the 3 promoted teams from League One, all in the bottom 4 or 5 in terms of Luton. Luton. Wycombe, Rotherham and Coventry. God, too many Championship teams on the brain here. We hope that's not the case, but I wonder if it's going to split that way and we're going to get disproportionately high relegated teams from the Premier League, disproportionately low promoted teams from League One. Let me know your thoughts as ever in the comments. And that was the review. And no sooner is the review done than we'll be back tonight at 7 p.m. for the preview for round 11. And then we get an international break, a pause for thought in this mental season. We kind of caught up a little bit now after the slow start. But still, it's the Championship. It's incessant, isn't it? And we love it, don't we? And we love Russ Peak, our fan sponsor here. Thank you as ever. Russ, a fan and now friend despite Ben's terrible taste in football teams. Please support the channel. More info in the advert at the end of this show. But you can do so there with our merchandise store, Teespring store, which you can find underneath this very video. T-shirts, mugs, phone cases, jumpers, hoodies, etc., etc. Great way to promote us and support our channel. Anyway, with that being said, I've still got to do the blooming fantasy league video today, and we will be back at 7. And then over the weekend, we will be here for a watch along of Cardiff Bristol City tomorrow. There'll be Dearly Departed tomorrow. There'll be Reading Stoke and then the Saturday Super Stream. And then the final Championship review for a couple of weeks will be on the 8th Sunday at 10 a.m. They've been a lot of fun on Sunday morning. So join us live for any of those shows. Live tonight, 7 p.m. preview. Live 5:45 Cardiff Bristol City on Friday. Live twice, 12:15 and 2:45. We'll be online here for about 4 or 5 hours on Saturday. It's a lot of fun. Come and join us. And live Sunday morning as well. Content coming out of the ears, so please do support my pursuits to either make a living out of this or die trying, for goodness sake. Right, thank you everybody for watching, and it's over and out from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.